Hello everyone, Ped Gives Up here, and thank you for tuning in for another video. Today we're going to be taking this car for a test drive. This is the Porsche 917/30. The reason I've decided to drive this car today is because I recently watched Aiden Millward's video about this car, dubbed the Can-Am Killer. My knowledge of this car is a bit basic, but basically this is part of the, obviously, as clues in the name, this is part of the Porsche 917 family of cars. If you've ever seen Le Mans, Steve McQueen, it's the car that he drives in that. It's got the Golf livery, it looks very cool. Now, from what I understand, they took this car to Can-Am, made all the changes to it as per the regulations, or lack thereof, of that series, due to some disagreements with how the what we now call the WEC was run. Can-Am at the time was, as the name implies, a North American sports car series. With a few differences to what you might normally expect from a sports car endurance series. Firstly, every race was a Grand Prix style sprint race, 2 hours without any driver changes. Secondly, it ran in the off season, so during the winter months, which attracted a lot of big names, especially from the Formula 1 and IndyCar world. Mario Andretti, Bruce McLaren, Jim Clark, Jackie Stewart, Francois Sevard, just to name a few. Now, big thing about this car that makes it so popular is it has a power output of 1200 brake horsepower, 1200. This is a car from 1973. This car dominated the 1973 championship at the hands of Mark Donohue, winning 5 out of 7 races, and it won those 5 races back to back. That's one of the reasons why they call it the Can-Am Killer. Obviously, this car isn't the only reason Can-Am died. There are some reasons that I'll get into when we start driving. But before we go, we're going to go into setup. And we are going to put this thing on full 100% boost. We're going to get the full 1200 brake horsepower. Alright, and then all that's left to do is, yeah, let's get to track. Okay, rounding the last corner here at Watkins Glen. Open her up. Big old whack of oversteer there. As one might expect from well over 1000 brake horsepower. Down to turn 1, heavy braking. Back end stepped out a little bit into the S's. Car dances around a bit in the S's. It doesn't really like it. I get a bit of whack of force feedback there. But we made it through. Let's get into 4th nice and early. On to the backstretch. Now I've left out the bus stop. We're going old school today, as a car like this demands. They did the 1973 Can-Am season. Did actually run at Watkins Glen. I believe Mark Donohue won. Can't quite remember, if I'm being totally honest. You have to be very soft through the corners. The car just wants to spin you out. Don't want to be doing that too much. This is first gear corner. Goes on for a while. Again, you got to be so soft on corner exit. Front tyres don't really have much to answer for. They're only really there to keep the car, well, to make it a car. This car is built for straight line speed and not much else. Backstretch. I do love the just the whack of opposite lock this car will give you. It's certainly not easy to drive. It is a challenge, but when you know what the car's doing, it's after a bit of practice. Like with any car, really. Like with a bit of practice, it's you learn how to just stay on top of it. That's what it is. You can't. Oh, on the grass. You can't, not take advantage of the power. You have to just stay on top of it, really. I don't want fast. Gets a bit squirrely on corner exit, but this is the kind of car that I love. I've recently changed my force feedback settings on my wheels, so I'm getting lots of feel through the wheel. I'm really enjoying it right now. driving cars like this just steps up the enjoyment factor. I've got no idea how they always drive these cars for 2-hour-long races. But I tell you what, I am just enjoying this car in Assetto Corsa right now. Best thing about it, stock content. This ain't a mod. This comes with the game. The track I'm driving on is a mod. But you can drive this around Laguna Seca, and you get a good taste of what it would have been like to drive this car in a era-specific track. But of course, because PC is just the best, we get to download these mod tracks and really get to experience it just for a taste, you know. I don't think I could ever drive a car like this in real life. I wouldn't say no to the opportunity though. Oh, the back end just what's a loop there. So why do they call this car the Can-Am Killer? Well, as I've said, when Porsche took this car to Can-Am, it was obviously very dominant. I think I've already said that Can-Am was open formula. Very few rules. And as such, you got these pretty crazy looking cars. You get this, with crazy amounts of power. You get something like the Charvel. The Charvel? Was it the Charvel? I think it was the Charvel. With its high up wings. And then you get the McLarens, which basically look like some from Wacky Races. Or I should probably say that Wacky Races looks something like Can-Am. Like a car from Can-Am. Oh, we're sliding there. Don't want to be doing that. Should probably wait until I'm on the main straight for I upshift. About midway through the bus stop is when you want to be braking. I feel like I carry a lot of speed into that corner. Feel myself locking the brakes up a little bit. I'm driving quite aggressively. But this car wants you to drive it aggressively. And you have to get the power out of it, because this is built for straight lines. You know, it's not... In the corners, it oversteers. It's a bit of a pig, really. The brakes as well, you know. Early 70s. Making a car that had... Making an engine that could output 1200 brake horsepower. I'm guessing it was easy. I mean, the knowledge and the technology was there. I mean, engines of this power were being made, you know, in the aircraft industry for many, many years. But brakes, on the other hand, the technology just hadn't caught up yet. So as such, you have to give yourself these massive braking distances. Kind of went a bit off topic. I was talking about the death of Can-Am. Well, I mentioned this car, how dominant it was. The hands of Mark Donoghue. Couple that with rising costs, as is inevitable with a lot of racing series. The Porsche domination. Customer car manufacturers just couldn't, you know, keep up, catch up even. And what's the point in entering a series if you're just going to come, you know, if you're going to be left in the Porsche's dust? So Lola and McLaren couldn't keep up. So interest kind of waned. Matched that with the oil crisis of the early 70s. And you know, yeah, it's such a shame that series like this can die, because it's not really something that you see. These sports cars doing sprint races without driver swaps. Would love it if a series like this could come back. Went to first when I didn't really need to, but kind of made it work. Was sliding on corner exit quite a bit though. Keep it in third for this corner, see if it likes that. Feels a bit slower, but still feels stable. Big whack of Oppo there. Thought I missed my braking zone, but that was about perfectly actually. Okay. Starting to get a bit sweaty. I've only been driving for about 10 minutes. Starting to feel the sim racing sweats from this car. I really need to stay off the grass, but kind of tricky. I'm driving 100% boost, of course. They would never have put up to 100 in real life. Maybe for qualifying, but in a race they just never would. You just can't. You can't expect your driver to stay on top of this car for that long. Also, I'm fairly certain it might blow up. Default is 70%, which is much more manageable. The car doesn't really want to kill you. I think this might be the trickiest corner on the track, you know. It goes on for a lot longer than you think it does. I do love Watkins Glen. It's a track that's remained pretty much unchanged since it was, you know, first opened. Used to host the F1 World Championship. Used to host the final round of the F1 World Championship, actually. Very much a party atmosphere in the circuit, within relatively short driving distance from New York City, Buffalo, Toronto. Held in autumn. It's a great party atmosphere from what I understand. One of these tracks I would love if everyone would ever go back to. Probably won't ever happen. But yeah, we have IndyCar for that, don't we? Not sure if IndyCar are going there this year, which is a shame. You know what, I could honestly drive this car for hours. It feels like a puzzle. You just get into a rhythm of when you need to upshift, when you need to heel and tow. The car does, you know, oversteer on power, on exit, on power, corner exit. But Assetto Corsa's physics and force feedback, being as good as they are, give you ample warning. Say some fast. Crawl through that corner. I would love to see how fast this is against an era-specific F1 car. And you know what? I think I just thought of my next video. Try and use the banking on T1, but oh, that was a misshift. At full throttle, the front tires just don't do anything. They just don't have the grip. They just do not bite into the tarmac. So it's quite thrilling, actually. Yeah, the front end grip just ain't there there are some tracks where you really feel it. Riverside is a good one because there are parts of that track that have a bit more random elevation. Feel the front end go up. And then it comes back down, but when it comes back down, the front end is pointing in a different direction than your wheels, so you get this rather minorly exhilarating moment where, you know, the car's pointing one way and you are pointing to another, and yeah, it has to be experienced. My hope is that people who enjoy racing in real life, go on, you know, real life racing, real life motorsport, my hope is that a lot of those people give sim racing a go, because getting to drive the cars that you've had pictures on your wall of is just something else. It doesn't even need to be it doesn't even need to be a, you know, a car driven by your idols or anything. It's just got to be a car like this, because they don't make cars like this anymore. I don't care if that makes me sound like a boomer. They don't make them like this. Alright. I could drive all night, but giving it as late as I dare. Yeah, I could drive all night. I am actually recording this at 10:30 at night. Man's got work in the morning. I'll tell you what, this is hard work itself. Oh, I'd love it if it wasn't so frickin' hot in the UK, as it has been the past few days, man. Go on, go straight line. Oh, I've left it too late there. Yes, back end went. Did good to keep it on the road, though. I'll do one more lap after this one. I'll shut up. Try to put in a good lap. And we bottled it already. Ugh. Oh, never mind. Pretend that didn't happen. I feel like I'm driving a rally car through the S's. The last thing the car's even thinking about is staying in a straight line. Into the boot. No, too early. Too soon on the power. And we have spun. I mean, it was bound to happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, to be honest. Well. What a car. Oh my god. Hey, put it in neutral. Put it in neutral, you know, you miss a gear, you put it in neutral, you've just got 1200 brake horsepower's worth of wheel spin. Funnily enough, the car doesn't like that. Driver doesn't like it either. Yeah, I've got some flat spots. I feel a bit of vibration in the wheel. Alright, and there goes our botched final lap. There we go, guys. So that is the Porsche 917/30, an absolute monster of a car. And, yeah. I'll certainly leave a link to Aidan Millward's video in the description. Sort of give you a bit more of an understanding of the car, more than I can give you anyway. Oh, and I didn't mention in the video, this car is the best nickname for a car ever. The turbopanzer. There's a lot of vibration in the wheel here. Yeah, the turbopanzer. Which, funnily enough, Porsche did actually manufacture the Panzers in the war, but but let's not go there. Anyway, guys, all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. You know, if you like this video, consider subscribing, consider liking, dropping a comment, doing all the good stuff. And I will see you in the next one.